In a previous video we discussed how important, how powerful range names can be. In this example I happen to have three range names: analyst, readings and strange. If you click on one of them, strange, it will select the range that it covers. So in my formulas I can use those names, which makes formulas better understandable. However, there is one big drawback with range names. If you ever expand your table, your listing, your records at the bottom, that will not be included. Let's say we say this analyst, I'm copying it and I'm adding that here. So analyst 3 is one more time, but we don't get an update of the count because the range names didn't update. So how can you make them update? We are going to use either the offset function or the index function. The offset function needs to know where to start. What is the row offset? So in this example we start in A1. The row offset is 0. The column offset is 0. And we want 10 rows. The last argument, the number of columns, is typically not used. Index does something similar. You can say range A1 through A10 would be equals A1 colon, and now we have to find the last cell in column A, and we use index in column A, and we want to offset it by 10 rows. We want to go index to row 10. Instead of saying 10, we could use the count or the count A function. Count only counts cells with numbers in it, count A counts everything. We are going to use both of them. So in this case I created three new range names: D analyst for dynamic, D strange, D readings. Please do not put spaces in those names. And the first one, for instance, would be as follows. I'm going to formulas, name managers. D analyst looks like this. Offset by taking on the sheet dynamic A1, starting in A1. Make sure that that is locked absolute. Offset by 0 rows by 0 columns. In which row do you want to offset by? Count A. Why count A? Because A1 has a label in it. So I want to count that cell. Whatever is in column A. That's what D analyst did. D strange, you type in here equals. And then you click on B1. It will make that automatically locked, but if you type it, make sure that you lock B and 1. Colon, so start in B1 and go to, by looking with index in column B, the last cell in column B, count A on the sheet dynamic, B colon B absolute or locked. And finally D readings. I used index again. I could have used offset instead. Start in C1 and go up to the last cell in column C according to your count A function. In this case that is 21. Once you have created new names like this, your formulas do a great job. So in this case I use count if in the range D analyst, criteria E2, analyst 1. And then I do that for analyst 2, analyst 3, etc. Now we have a dynamic range. So if I say this analyst did another reading and I'm just copying it, I'm adding it at the bottom of the database, then you will see that analyst 3 should go up from 5 to 6. And you will see it automatically did that. That's the power of range names, but also of dynamic range names. If you have a choice, I would always go for the dynamic ones, for the other ones will never update, so you will never get an error message saying that these numbers are not correct anymore. This is what you need to know in order to work in Excel with formulas that are much more informative, much more dynamic, and much more powerful and much more informative. If you are not that familiar with Excel, you probably need many more tricks that I don't discuss in these videos. But I do discuss them in these 3 CD-ROMs and those 2 books. If you are a scientist, you want to use these 2 more in particular. For general users, this one. If you want to program in Excel, there will also be an Excel 2013 VBA very early in 2014. And Excel simulations. Go to genesispc.com to find all these tools and how you can order them.